All right, yo, what's up, guys? I'm Tony. I'm taking place for Anthony today on Top Tier Yu-Gi-Oh! We have here today with John Knox. What did you do today, John Knox?
I won the OTS at the best store in Virginia, Landslide, Clifton, Maryland.
Best store?
Best store, absolutely.
All right, let's get started getting profile.
Okay, so I'm not going to explain like the obvious stuff, but I'll go through it quickly. Mekk-Knight Red Moon, Indigo Eclipse, 3 purple and 3 blue. This lineup's really standard right now. It's pretty much on all the Mekk-Knight Invoked lists, but important things are with these two, this checks on resolution, so anytime your opponent has a set card like Cosmic or Scapegoat or whatever, and they chain it, you don't actually search. Also, Ghost Ogre against this deck is a lot better than people realize, because this does not vanish for cost, and this, if it gets Ogre, doesn't search at all, because it doesn't know that it's in a column when it goes to the graveyard. I considered playing more of this or more of this, but they are bricks on their own. If you have one engraved, use the effect. Fun fact that most people know already, that if this is in a column, destroy something, you can use this to move it, and then destroy something else.
So you like the Red Moon? Because I know a lot of people cut it. It's
okay. I kind of want to try the yellow one, because it could destroy a spell or trap, and this deck has problems with the anti-spell, so that's probably worth siding or checking into. A fair amount of opponents like forgot that this was coming back, and they would clear my board, and I would still have Aleister plus this, and then come back and clear theirs, and they had no cards. So that happened a couple times.
Pretty cool.
3 Aliester, obviously, it needs to come ultimate in the OTS pack.
No, we don't need that.
Yes, it does. 3 Veiler, 3 Ash, 3 Ogre. I played 4 Mirrors during the day and 1 True Draco, so this was fine. I'll talk about on the side later, but something I do want to change is probably either adding or siding Droll and Lockbird, because with the mirror being so prevalent and True Draco being the hardest matchup, either siding or maining these needs to be a thing going forward. So I gotta figure out what I'm gonna change for that. And then now that hand traps are more affordable, they're a lot easier to play. Mistiming these happen a lot with different people, just like where they would like Veiler, Aliester, Ash, Aliester, and I would hard draw Invocation, and when that happens, you're so far ahead. There's no point.
So you trying to be, is that not biased with the Droll? Because I went to that event and there was like True Draco and Mekk-Knight Invoked all day.
It was all day.
So like Droll's a little biased for that event, but I think your logic's pretty good.
True, which is why I'm probably going to side it rather than main it. Spells are pretty much the same. 3 Terraforming, 3 Meltdown, 3 Invocation. I considered going to 2, but there were a couple times where I banished 2 off Desires, or in my top 4 match, I got Mind Crushed for 2 of these against Cosmo, and I had 1 set because I opened with 3, and I ended up using that 1 to kill him. So randomly 3 did come up a few times. I would probably consider either cutting one of these or one of these because they're once per turn. But being able to set...
But 6 copies.
Terraforming came up a couple times to summon Mekk-Knights.
That's pretty good.
One of the misplays I saw a lot of the Mekk-Knight Invoked players do where like they would draw this and this, and they would actually this to search this, and then actually Desires whatever, and then they would have nothing to set summon Mekk-Knights. So people just need to realize that when they're playing.
So summon the Mekk-Knights first.
Correct. Unlike, well, someone I won't talk about, but yes, someone that played Invocation into Dimensional Barrier and then lost because they had 2 Mekk-Knights at hand and didn't summon them first. 3 Desires, 3 Mind Control. I'll talk about that last. These help you make Saruja. I like 3 over 2 just because you usually banish 1 and you want to see this card because when you hand trap them, you're down a card and you're always going second. Plus, if you draw extra Mekk-Knights, you just kill them anyways, so it doesn't really matter. 2 Knowledge, 1 Secrets, 1 Regeki. You don't want to play Darkhold because you want them to have monsters on the board for your Mekk-Knights, and Regeki helps you kill them. This was added, this and the 3rd one of these was added to play 42 so I could side out easier. The deck has like 35, 36 engine cards, which makes it really hard to side a lot of the time, so these 2 usually get sided out on like one of these and like maybe 1 Terraforming. So the things, this is the best card in the deck overall by far. Concept is you going second, you don't really want to open more than 1, but you do want to see it because it helps you make Saruja, make Borolo, but I never made it, and then Ningrisu and Ib just helps. This plus Aliester is 8,300 with Magalanica, so it's still probably the best card on the deck. There is an instant fusion combo, which I can describe later, which is pretty cool, but if you get Reapered from Mechaba, you don't really have that great of a win condition without this card. So
Scapegoat is broken.
So Scapegoat probably needs to go to 1 during the next ban list. Extra deck. Pretty standard. Two Purgatorio, two Mechaba, one Maglanica, one Elysium. I don't understand why people are not playing this card. Aliester plus Scapegoat is game with this. It's 8,300. At Atlanta, I won 7 games because of this. It didn't come up yesterday, but it comes up a lot in testing. I did want 3 a couple times, but if you need 3, you're probably playing incorrect at some point. Or just wasting it when you shouldn't be. This, I kind of been considering cutting to 1, because usually when you summon this, you're just killing them, and you never really need the second one, especially against Pendulum. And if I add Droll and Lock, I need space for Invoked Raging. Anyways, with this, if you might control one of their extra deck and summon Aliester, then you can summon this, that helps you clear the board. It never came up, but it's supposedly good.
You were mentioning Instant Fusion. Does Raging come out with Instant Fusion?
Yes, there is a... With Meltdown, during the summon window, if you Instant Fusion into Raging and they have either Mechaba or Vortex Dragon, you can activate the effect to flip it down before they can respond. So that makes Instant Fusion pretty good with that as well. Extra deck, Underclock Taker, Link Spider, Proxy, Decode, Misses, Stingrisu, Borreload, Surge. This is the best card in the extra deck by far. I summoned this 5 or 6 times. If you draw into any Mekk-Knight, this plus Mechaba is 6,600 because the points you can gain is 300. Then if you draw any Mekk-Knight, you just kill them. So this card came up a lot, especially with Mind Control. Like, I had never played it until that Saturday, but the fact is you just, like, Aliester plus a Mekk-Knight plus Mind Control, it's a lot easier to make. I did miss Link Spider, because you can use Scapegoat with Link Spider and Link Karibo, and then the 2 tokens to make this without having another monster. So I need to find room to make space. This never came up, but it's still good. This is non-targeting against my top 4. I used it to get rid of his Forerunner, because Cosmo top 4 to this event. So that was relevant. I kind of want to take this out, because it doesn't come up that often, but if you take their Electrum and plus Aliester, you can make this, and then everything else in the extra deck I made a lot. So
pretty cool.
Side deck was pretty good. I used most cards. 3 Lancia for the Mirror, for Lightsworn, and for Dinosaurs. It was 4 Invoked Mekk-Knights and True Draco, so I decided to sit a lot. 3 Barrier. This card is not that great against the Invoked Mekk-Knight Mirror, just because if you set it, you're giving them a free zone to summon a Mekk-Knight, and if they set a card and you have to shotgun it, then you literally just wasted it at that point. It's really good if you're ahead, you know, like if you can make a board and then set this and then basically lock them out of the game. But that's why I'm considering taking one of these out and something else for Droll. 2 evenly matched. You never really want to open more than 1. I didn't like maining it because it's not really good against any matchup except True Draco and Stun decks. 2 Cosmic, 2 Twin. Shout out to Froggy for letting me borrow these. This card was really good all day against True Draco and against the Cosmo player. Imperial Iron Wall is being cited by almost every True Draco player, so I'm considering taking this out to play a 3rd Twin Twister instead, just because, like, drawing this against an Iron Wall board or whatever, it is good because you can add it on their turn, but most of the time they're going to have 2, 3 sets or diagrams, so Twin Twister is just better. Plus you can discard a light or a fire for your invoked cards, so that's good. Dark Hole was for Inspector Border or Thunder King, stuff like that. Most of the True Draco builds switched to Amano Iwata, so those cards aren't very good anymore. And then the 2 Kaijus. The change I'm probably going to make immediately after this event is taking these 2 out for 2 Joel and Lockbird, for True Draco and for the Mirror to have more cards. And then finding space in the extra for Link Spider and Invoked Raging, which is probably going to be this and maybe Decode, but I don't know. It's to be determined after testing.
All right, what were your matchups?
I played 4 Invoked Mekk-Knight and 1 True Draco, and then in top 8 I played Zephyra Pendulum and Zephyra Pendulum, Cosmo, and top 4. Yes, Cosmo actually topped this event. He was ridiculous. Like, no one knew how to play against any of those cards at all.
Can't target.
Non-targeting, non-destruction isn't very good against, like, Mind Control and a lot of other decks that were there. True Draco players didn't know what to do either, so the deck's really old. No one really knew how to play against it. And then I played the guy that beat me in Swiss in the finals, and I 2-0'd him. Let's see, the Pendulum Zephyr is probably the hardest matchup because I don't know what any of the cards do, and Alex is really good. So shout out to
They search a lot of, Solemn Judgment traps and stuff.
Yes, like that deck is pretty good. It's scary, especially if you don't know what the cards do, which I didn't. And then most of the Invoked Mekk-Knights. There were a couple interesting builds with Instant Fusion.
Yeah, you said you're going to show us an Instant Fusion combo.
I can show you this really quick. Basically, you Instant Fusion into Thousand-Eyes Restrict, take their monster, put it here, summon blue in, or summon blue in, you can search for Indigo and the Red Moon. You end up summoning Indigo over here, moving it, and then summoning Red Moon, or I'm sorry, summoning purple and then summoning Indigo. You link Thousand-Eyes Restrict into Link Karibo. Over here, where my Link Karibo go? Overlay Indigo and purple into Hope Harbinger. And then normal summon Aliester, link these two into Underclock Taker, and Invocation into Mechaba. So your ending board going second against them is Hope Harbinger, Mechaba, and this, which is pretty good. Thousand-Eyes Restrict is going to take the monster. Now, granted, this only really works if they have a column of 2 cards for you to summon purple into to search for that. So it's still a cool combo. Instant Fusion lets you summon Rage and Under Meltdown, which we talked about, and also lets you summon Millennium Eyes Restrict, which happened to me against Cosmo, and that card lets you negate hand traps like Ghost Ogre and Ash.
Yeah, it triggers on when they activate cards. It's not like those
when they activate Cosmo Town and you Ogre it with Millennium Eyes on the board, you shouldn't do that. Fun fact.
All right.
Lessons learned.
Any shout-outs?
Shout outs to all OBG, pretty good team. Shout outs to Tony for being my theory partner all day long at work. To Froggy for letting me borrow Twin Twisters, which are really good. Shout outs to Alex for helping along the way. He knows why. And to Daniel and Sean for the 3v3. Been testing a lot more with different variants of this deck and theorying with them. So appreciate that. Shout outs to Froggy for not coming, and having to work on a Saturday.
Yeah, and the whole thing anyway.
Look forward to the next event.
All right, guys. Well, there was John Knox's first place OTS Mekk-Knight Invoked deck. See you guys next time.
Remember that time, those cerulean tides, sapphire, died.